Real estate is an asset that all of us understand. I had no job, no credit, no collateral, nothing. That's it. The more people I serve, the more effective I get. Cash flows are almost zero. Passionpreneuring. Do you feel it's part of your destiny to be talking to these people?
All right, Passionpreneurs. Welcome to one more episode of the Passionpreneur Show. And let me tell you, I'm super excited because today we have some person who I really admire in terms of his knowledge, his wisdom, his humility. Let me give a quick introduction. This person has shaken the industry when it comes to real estate, when it comes to business. He is multiple times best-selling author. His first book has shaken the industry and has sold so many copies. It has broken all the records, and it's one of the #1 bestseller in the real estate. That book is Nothing Down. How to buy real estate with little or no money down. And that was a New York Times bestseller, not for one, not for two. I think it's more than 54 weeks consecutively. He is someone who has taught even real estate to people like Robert Kiyosaki. He has been a student as well. And for more than 40 plus years, he's been the authority when it comes to real estate, investing. He's been speaking on multiple stages, televisions. He's been an international speaker. Long story short, he is the man when it comes to real estate or business and investing. Help me welcome the one and only Robert G. Allen. Robert, sir, thank you so much for your time today.
Good to meet you.
Yeah. So I directly want to shoot, to the first question I want to shoot before we go to your story. How do people become wealthy? What are the secret of creating wealth?
Find something you're passionate about. I was passionate about real estate, and I absolutely loved it. And then I was passionate about writing books, and I loved it more than real estate. I love to teach people, and I love to teach people how to do what I did, which is buy real estate. Multiple Streams of Income is one of my books. So I am passionate about that. I'm 75 years old now. I flew to India so I could speak to your group. I was very amazed by the entrepreneurs here in India. And so that's my passion. That's what I do.
I love it. There's a second book, I think the second or some third book, and you've written multiple books, but one of the bestseller book is Multiple Streams of Income.
Yes.
And you coined this word and it's become like an industry standard.
Yes.
How important it is to create multiple streams of income. And if somebody's watching this, he's probably in a job looking to start a side hustle or a business.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to them to build multiple streams of income?
Well, you need multiple streams of income because if you lose one stream, you have other streams to support you.
Yeah.
So that's why you always have several little side hustles or extra businesses that you do. You look at all wealthy people, they've got multiple streams of income. And it's just one of the landmarks of a very wealthy person. But the kind of income you want to make is streams of income that flow while you sleep. Now that's harder to do. So it's easy to start a business, but then you can have teams that manage your businesses for you. You don't want to spend enormous amounts of time. You want to be free to do what you want to do, and therefore it has to be multiple streams of residual income. That's why the title is How to Generate a Lifetime of Unlimited Wealth. And so those two fundamental principles are very, very poorly understood by most business people. Usually they just have one business.
Yes.
And they're all in on that business. And they really say that you shouldn't have more than one because you need to focus all your attention on one. Well, that's wise, but what happens if that business dies? And what are you going to do? Start from scratch? I think you should have 3 projects going simultaneously. The first project, especially if you're a beginning entrepreneur, then I would suggest you decide what you want to start with. If it's real estate investing, if it's launching your own business, doing your entrepreneurial passionpreneuring, like Dave talks about, which I think is fantastic, by the way. You guys are in the right place. This is the guy. He's amazing.
Thank you.
And so anyway, you launch something, you give almost 100% of your attention on it, but at the same time, you have a little side hustle. Now, that means you got to take away some of your attention onto something else at the same time you're doing the big one. And so for me, it's usually 80% on the big one, 15% on the second one, and 5% on the third one. 5% is just for reading books, maybe going to a seminar or two. The second one would be 15%. You'd spend some time trying it out, doing some testing, spending a little bit of money on advertising. The reason I'm saying that is because I look at my career. I was fully into real estate. I was all in real estate. And I loved it. I loved to buy the properties. I loved to find deals. I was very passionate about that. And then I started teaching a little class on the side. And it wasn't making money. I was asked by somebody to teach, actually to replace them while they were teaching a little college class and they got sick or something. They said, well, Rob, will you teach that class for me? Well, yeah, whatever. So I teach it and I liked it. I enjoyed it. How many years
ago was that?
What year?
How many years ago?
That was in 1976.
Wow, I was not even born then. Okay.
Yeah, so 1976, and I started teaching this little class, and I thought, this is fun. So that's the 5%. Just a little bit of time on it, but the more I got into it, the more I liked it. And then I started to say, well, maybe I should teach a little seminar, and I see other people teaching seminars. Maybe it generate a little extra revenue for me. I wasn't expecting it to be big.
Right.
But I did a seminar in my local city. It was only 100,000 people in my city.
Yeah.
It was a college town, so I said, well, let's run a little ad in the newspaper, see if anybody would come to learn how to buy real estate with little or no money down. And they came, and I taught a little class, 4-week class, $75 US for 4 weeks. And I would teach them my secrets, And every Thursday night, I do this class, and it wasn't much money. We had like 10 people. Yeah. And the way I did my first seminar, I rented a hotel room. Not a seminar room.
Oh, a room.
A room, like this is a room.
Yeah.
I took the bed out. I put some chairs in a little table. And
you made it like a conference.
Exactly. It was $16 for that hotel room. Wow. I still remember that. But then I thought, my wife doesn't like me working at night. She goes, hey, that's my time. You don't want to do seminars at night. So I said, but that's kind of like my business. And she said, well, is there another way to try it? Well, let's do it on a Saturday. So I did a Saturday. I put an ad in the paper. I remember how risky it was to spend all that money on this advertising. What if nobody shows up? And I had 100 people come to a $100 seminar for one day. Now this was in 1977.
$100 is a big amount.
$100. Well, $100 times 100 is 10,000 US dollars. That's what's that? 4 lakh?
Yeah, $10,000.
No. It's like it's 8 lakh, isn't it?
Yeah, 8 lakh.
It's 8 lakh. Now that's in one day, 40 years ago.
Wow.
See, so yeah, that's what I said to me. I said, I looked at I said, wow, this is big money, So I started this little seminar business, and now it took up 15% of my time, and 20% of my time, and 30% of my time, and it was immediate money. Whereas real estate's not immediate, and the cash flows are, smaller. Yeah. And if you're buying with lots of leverage, that's nothing down. That means your cash flows are almost zero. Wow. And so, in order for me to live a better lifestyle, I thought, I'll just do a seminar every once in a while. And then I did a seminar in Los Angeles. I spent a big ad for a full-page ad in the LA Times, and 200 people spent $500 for my 2-day seminar.
That's 5 times more.
Yeah, that's 100,000. That's 1 krone, I think, right?
100,000 is almost 80 lakhs.
Yeah,
close to a crore.
It's a krone. It's a krone.
Yeah.
And I made that in 1 weekend.
Wow.
And this was in 1978. And so I thought, this is good. I don't think real estate can compete with this.
Wow.
And so that's what I did. So see how a little side hustle turned into the big side hustle. And then real estate became my 15%, and...
So I want to backtrack, I think you could do this. You could teach people how to buy the real estate because you were passionate about it.
Yeah.
And you did a lot of transactions yourself.
Yes.
But how did you become passionate about real estate, and when did you buy your first property? Because a lot of people watching this, probably they've not even bought their first property yet.
Yeah.
I was ignorant, and I also did not buy it. So when did you start buying the property, and what inspired you to buy the properties?
Well, I graduated with a master's in business, which means I wanted to be a corporate person like you were.
Yes.
I wanted to be corporate. And I wanted to have a nice big salary. And unfortunately, it was a huge recession in our country at that time. and nobody was hiring MBAs. And I was kind of a little desperate. I was single. I didn't have a lot, but I'd read a book on real estate investing, and it was How to Buy Real Estate the title was How I Turned $1,000 into $1 million in real estate in my spare time.
Oh, wow.
And I loved the title. I never actually finished reading the book, but the title was really good. And so when I couldn't make my career happen, I thought, well, I'm single. Why? I really just want to be a millionaire. I don't want to go work for somebody. So I said, well, I've got $1,000 that my dad gave me for graduation. That's it. That's all I had is $1,000. I had no job, no credit, no collateral, nothing. That's it. That was that.
Yeah.
And I went and I did the most important thing first. I found a mentor who has done what I wanted to do. He was a multi-millionaire in real estate investing. He was part of my church group. And I see him, he's a good man, he's honest, ethical, and helpful, and kind, and rich. I said, I want to be like that, you know? And so I went to him and I said, Paul, you know, do you have any projects that I can work on? Anything I can help you with in your projects? And he said, yeah, I've got a project since it's a recession, it's difficult. I need some help, and I'm not going to pay you a salary. You can work on a commission, which was to my school class, which was the lowest level of career I could have chosen. You know, anybody can sell stuff on commission. And therefore, I literally walked away from my career. I said, I want to do this. So yeah, Paul, I'll work with you. You coach me and tell me what to do.
That's very interesting, because I want to make sure that people get this point is, a lot of people come to the people who are successful and they say, hey, can you teach me this?
Yes.
Can you get me this?
Yes.
The taker. But you actually did the opposite, which I have heard a lot of people saying this. When you meet a successful person or a coach or a mentor, think about what can I do to add value without any expectation.
Correct.
I think that's exactly what you did.
That's what I did. And that is exactly what I would have told you. You know, that please, Robert, teach me. Can you share with me what all kinds of people always ask, and they ask you too.
Yes.
Please help me. And they never say, how can I help you?
Yeah.
How can I add value? That's a good word, adding value.
And let me tell you, all the successful people, all the coaches or mentors, you know, let me tell you, we always have something that we probably can give it to somebody, just not because, you know, we want to give it, we can outsource it as well, but just to test that, are you even ready for it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like, we cannot find people who can do this job, but because you come with that attitude of giving and serving, we say, okay, great. You asked for it, and it's not us, by the way, it's the universe. God
if I were to interview him, he has probably 30 little things. I can make money there, I can make money here, I can make money there, but he's focused on his business. He doesn't have time to do these little things, But if you were to come up to him and say, which one of your little things do you need some help with?
Yes.
You'd go, oh, yeah, well, I've always wanted to do this, but my team is busy doing that. And so anyway, I talked to my mentor and talk about mentorship, which is exactly what Dave does for you. He's your mentor. So my mentor didn't charge me a fee. If he had charged me a fee, I wouldn't know how to pay him. I wouldn't know how to pay him.
Yeah. But he was not the business coach.
No.
He was an entrepreneur.
No, he was an entrepreneur. He never had coached anybody like that.
Yeah.
So he and I worked together. I got to ride in his car with him as we went to work, and there's about an hour away. So we drive in his car. I would pick his brain, and what I really learned was that he wasn't really all that smart. He wasn't a genius, but what he was extremely focused and committed to what he wanted to build. And he was a good guy. I mean, somebody's doing some work on one of his projects, he would just jump out and get his hammer out and help him. He wasn't like this highfalutin, rich, egocentric. He was just a down to earth man. And so that was probably the most important lesson I learned from him. Then I went to him. I said, I found this property. I got $1,000. This lady has this property to buy. She's willing to sell it to me for $1,000 down. And then I have to make her monthly payments and some balloon payments. That means 2 or 3 months from now, another 1,000, and 2 or 3 months from now, another 1,000. And I don't know where that 1,000 is going to come from.
How much was the total commitment to that?
It was $6,000 was
Okay.
what she wanted. And she wanted 1,000 now, 1,000 in 2 months, 1,000 in 2 months, and the rest.
Yeah.
She let me make her monthly payments over 5 years.
Got it.
So it was nothing down, really. Well, 1,000 is what I
1,000.
had. It's all I had, you know? And so literally 100% of my money went to her. After I talked to my mentor, I said, what do you do? What should I do it? You know, this is risky, you know, I'm committing everything.
Yeah.
I'm all in. And then I have to come up with the money in 2 months. I don't know where that's going to come from. He said, this is a quote he said to me. I'll never forget this. He says, I'd rather see a crooked furrow than a field unplowed.
Wow.
And what he was saying was, go for it. You make a mistake.
Yes. Take a swing at it. If you miss it, miss
It's
it.
a crooked furrow. It doesn't matter. The seeds will still grow. It's all right. It's okay. And so with that is, he never said, go buy that. He just said, I'd rather see a crooked furrow. So I bought it. And then I went and started to fixing it up and doing some work on it. Well, the neighbor was out of the country at the time. And he wanted that property, didn't know it was coming up for sale. And while he was gone, it came up for sale and I bought it.
Yeah.
So he comes to me and he goes, okay, you fix it up. Thank you very much. I'd like to, pay you 4 times your money. I want to, or 6 times. It's $1,000. I'll give you $6,000 return on your investment right now. And so what did I say? I'd say, well, if I can make $6,000 and it was about a month, in a month, I think I should do this.
Wow.
Now, looking at it today, that home is worth about $500,000. I bought it for $25,000. So it's gone up 20 times in value. So would I have been better off to hang on to it? Yes. But I took the money and went and bought a 7-unit apartment building. Sold that one, took that money and bought a 12-unit apartment building. Then another 12
put
unit.
all the money in again?
I am parlaying one deal into another deal until eventually I own hundreds of units and
how long
dozens of units.
And how long did it take to reach to the place that you have?
For me, become a millionaire took me between 3 and 4 years.
Wow.
A millionaire.
Please note this, and this was in 1970s and 80s,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If he can do it and become a millionaire in 3.5 years, and real estate was his passion, right? Think about today's time. Would you say it is much easier to become a millionaire in today's time as compared to before, or would you say it was the same?
I would say it's a lot easier. The money is more prevalent. Back then it was still not, the mortgages were still a little harder to get.
Now it's the easier time.
The resources for researching.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this is available in India, but in America, for example, there are software programs where I can see every property in the United States. I can see its value, what it sold for, what it was bought for, how it was fixed up, every single property.
Really?
That's
Yeah, I think we don't have that kind of
$100 million,
transparency.
100 million properties. And I literally can sit at home on my computer. I can find a highly motivated seller. I can find out, I can communicate with them, make an offer to buy that property, have them sign the offer to buy that property online, and find a seller to flip it to online without ever leaving my office chair.
Wow, that is
Talk about easier? Oh yeah, much easier. Now, if that isn't available in your country at this particular point, then you just use whatever resources you have to find the highly motivated sellers.
Yeah.
So if real estate is really something you want to do, then dig in and get some real estate. But what if that's your passion? It was my passion.
Yeah. What if real estate is not somebody's passion, but they still want to be wealthy? What are the ways? Real estate is one. What are the other things along with real estate they can do which can help them to become wealthy? Because what I've understood is having high cash flow, meaning having cash or making money, is one thing.
Yeah.
But multiplying money and having assets is completely different thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like how Robert Kiyosaki also said this, income and expense versus assets and liabilities. So what are the tips that you can share with people who actually want to be wealthy and not just have cash rich?
Well, one of my most famous books is Multiple Streams of Income. And you're right, it's become a catchphrase worldwide. People need multiple streams of income. So real estate would be one of the streams of income. Another one would be some kind of product you're marketing online and on the internet. So in order to be an entrepreneur, and these people are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
You're doing a side hustle. Maybe you're working at a job, but you don't want to work there forever.
Yes.
You're an entrepreneur. Then you got to sell something. So you got to sell a product, service, or information. So sometimes it's a product that you create. Maybe it's a product somebody else created and you're selling it. So
white labeling it.
white labeling it. So you become whatever you're selling. You just gotta love it. You gotta be passionate about it. It's like you can't get enough of it. And so that's probably the most important fundamental skill is to be curious and passionate and interested and always studying and always learning. It's not work. It's not work to you. It's like fun, right?
Yes.
So that I'm sure you teach that exactly.
That's exactly what we do.
So you're either having a product, a physical product, or you're having a service where you're providing service to other people. I don't like service businesses because they require lots of employees. They're based on doing something for somebody else.
Yeah.
I will do for you what you don't want to do for yourself. That's a service.
Yeah.
However, my favorite is information marketing because it's 95% profit.
Yes.
You know, right now, this is a podcast we're doing.
Yes.
We are doing it in his hotel suite. He does have a team that's helping him, and the camera was probably pretty expensive, but really, realistically speaking, it's 1%.
1%.
It's 1%.
For sure.
It is 99% profit, and it has high value. You like to watch this. You like what he's teaching you. You enjoy it. And therefore, it's highly valuable to you. So you want to have him, to be close to him, have proximity to him and his ideas and his techniques. And so that's the information business. And so I learned that as I told you, I launched the seminar business for me. And now since in my career, since that first little seminar with books on my name on books, my name's on seminars, training, coaching, licensing, all that stuff. And I've generated 1.3 billion US dollars.
Wow.
With information with my name on it. Wow. So you can tell I like information marketing.
Yes.
I love it. But I do it not because I like the money. The money is nice. It is. I like talking about what we're talking about now.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to talking to you. It's not like, oh, darn it, I got to go talk to Dave and talk to these people, whoever they are, you know. No. It's my purpose in life. That's what passion is. It's when you feel it's your purpose in life. I think purpose is 4 things. It's passion. It's what do you really love to do? You know, it's talent. What are you good at? You got to be good at it. Number 3, it's value. It's got to be important to you. If it's not important, you won't do it.
Sure.
And number 4, it's like, do you feel like this is part of your destiny to do this, you know? So do you feel it's part of your destiny to be talking to these people?
Oh, 100%. So
100%.
100%. You know, I can relate to exactly what you're saying. I think you found your love with real estate.
Yeah.
And you got proof of concept. You went all in and you kept doing that. And then you convert that into information. I think I have a similar story, but not in real estate. But I was stuck in a job. No idea about what my passion is, what my purpose is, what I want to do in life. 16 years, I've given it to corporate life, but it's not fulfillment. And when I got exposed to self-development industry, it's a eureka moment for me. I'm like, okay, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, you know, that. And then when I started developing myself, my mindset changed, my belief changed. You know, within 1.5, 2 years, I actually built more than 14 high-income skills. Like marketing, sales, book writing, funnel building, public speaking, coaching, training. I did all that. But it all started with a shift in the mindset. And that mindset shift was, instead of, you know, thinking about my money, my house, my career, my car, it was me realizing that, man, I could do more. My potential is more. And I was undervaluing my own potential. And this pain that I went through, I said, man, I don't want others to go through the same pain. So I started sharing the knowledge of how you can be unstoppable and do more. And then they said, okay, wow. I wonder how many people are still in middle class in India, still not utilizing their full potential. and still completely blinded by mediocrity. So I said, man, I want to wake them up because I was awakened, right?
Yeah.
So it just took a few months. I started creating content, video, all the information. People started reaching out to me and said, hey, do you do paid coaching? I said, I can make money from this. Like, okay. The first client I got was from Nigeria. He called me like, Dave, do you do paid coaching? I said, yes. They're like, how much do you charge? I'm like, I had no idea. I said, okay. I did calculation. I was like, you know what? Typically I charge about $100 for coaching. But if you do it next week, we can do it for, I think it was $50. Like, he said, okay. I was like, wow, you paid me money just to share things that I'm sharing it freely, passionately. And that just, clicked that I can make money from it. But it still was a side hustle, like a multiple streams of income, a little bit. I cannot quit my job, which was giving me like $4,000 a month. I was like, I cannot quit it. And then I said, I can do more. And then somebody else reached out and I charged more. Then I charged about probably $300 then. And then somebody came and I charged about $1,000. And that how, it's like, oh man, I'm going to do full time. So I went full time into information products. And I said, not only I'll help people to become better in mindset, but also help them with the skill set, because I was building other skill set as well, sales, marketing, high ticket closing. And I want to help them to make money from their passion, whatever they're passionate about, help them to find their purpose. And then the Passionpreneur movement actually started. So that's the journey that I've had.
Yeah, and it's a perfect example. And it's what we do. It's our life.
Yeah.
So that's why I fly to India.
All the 4 things that you said, it's a perfectly aligned. And I think, guys, if you're making notes, please go back, rewatch this few minutes again and make a note of all the 4 points.
You realize that if you look at the list of all the things you're good at, the things that are important to you, usually they fit in the middle. You go, oh, that's what I'm going to focus on right there, and that's what I do. I love to teach. I love to speak. It's not hard for me. It's a piece of cake.
I think
so. That's how you know what your talent is. It's just your piece of cake. You say that in India, piece of cake.
Yeah, we do that. It's a piece of cake. Is a cakewalk. And I think it's a gift that, I think God Almighty, whoever believes in, has actually given to everybody.
Absolutely.
It has been to you in a real estate and then coaching and training. Maybe you don't have to be a coach. You don't have to be a trainer. You don't have to do real estate, but something that you really love that can be monetized into a business. But the most important element is add value to people. Like if you don't add value, don't serve people, you don't make money. I think this is the other day you were talking about this on the stage as well, that serve more people. Would you want to highlight on that? Like, how is wealth and serving so much more?
It was Kiyosaki who said it. And he said, the more people I serve, the more effective I get. I didn't actually like that quote. Because the more people you serve or the more people you love, the more wealth you create, really. And your wealth is based upon the fact that you give. The more people you give to, the more comes back to you.
True.
The problem with people, they don't understand giving. They think that giving is an investment. That if I invest my giving into somebody, that I'll get a return on my investment. And especially in the spiritual world, people say, well, you must give to your church, your God, your charity, whatever. When you give, then it comes back to you, right? I think that is a wrong approach to it.
Okay.
I think you should be giving not because you expect to get more, but you are so grateful for what you have already received. You already got it. You already have received so many blessings. You're so overwhelmingly blessed that you need to give just to be thankful, to show your thanks. And you don't expect more. You're almost like, no, don't give me more. I've already got so much. Don't give me more. And yet the universe works that way. Whatever you give, it does come back. But if you expect it to come back, it's tainted. It's like, I'm giving because I'm going to give you something because I want you to reciprocate. I want you to give back because the rule of reciprocity means if I give something to you, you must give something back to me.
Yeah.
That is I think, evil. It's an evil concept. It means you're only doing it because you expect to get something back. And the truth is, You should be a first giver. From the whatever money that flows into your life, immediately give away the first 10% or more to whatever church or charity or cause or philanthropy person who needs it on the street. Give it. And just when you do, it feels so good. And as I said the other day, when you give, you expect that the giving actually subtracts from your wealth. Like I had 100 and now I gave away 10 or 20. That means I only have 80 left, right? Yeah. That's a subtraction. And that's what we call the scarcity mindset. It's subtraction. An abundance mindset is, I already have received so much that giving away this 10% is nothing. It's abundance. I am abundant. That's why I give. I am abundant. And I hope that one lesson comes out of this. You heard Kiyosaki said it yesterday too. Yes. He said, giving is the secret to wealth. Did you hear him say that? Yes. Giving is the secret to wealth. And I totally 100% agree with that.
I love it. I think in short, and I relate to this, my story, like I was giving, but only expecting the salary in return all the time because I was still trading time for money. So I was giving my time and I was making money. But when I started doing selfless giving on social media without expecting anything, people laughed at me, they say, David this, David that. I started writing a book, 80% mindset, 20% skill. Later on, it became bestseller in India on Amazon and thousands of reviews on Amazon. But I started giving and you were like, take some more. I was like, okay, take some more. I was like, what? I never expected this. So I absolutely relate to this. I want to segue to a specific area which you're really, really master at, is how to buy a property in whatever country, let's say India. What are the steps that you can suggest if somebody's buying their first property, like step 1, step 2, step 3, that they should keep in mind?
When I wrote nothing down, just like people criticize books, they were critical of the fact that you can't buy property with nothing down because you go to a realtor and you get a mortgage, they're going to require you to have down payment and credit, job, income streams. You can't expect. That's called the retail real estate world. I don't play there. And they will tell you that it's not possible to buy with nothing down. I look for highly motivated sellers who don't want their real estate. I call them don't wanters. A don't wanter is a person who's ended up owning a property. Maybe they tried it and they had some mistakes and they want to get out, right? So I said, send me to any city, take away my wallet, give me a $100 bill, and in 72 hours, I'll buy an excellent piece of real estate using none of my own money. And we ran that advertisement all across the United States, and it was extremely successful until the Los Angeles Times, where I had bought the ad in their newspaper, read the ad and said, we don't think he can do that. And therefore, we are going to challenge you, Mr. Allen. You say we could send you to any city. We pick the city. We're going to take a reporter by your side, and we're going to fly you to whatever city we choose. Mm-hmm. When you get there, he's going to take away your wallet, just like you said. He's going to give you $100 US. You have nothing, no credit, no cash flow, no identification in your wallet. You don't even have your identification.
Wow.
Nothing. And if you haven't bought a property in 72 hours, well, we're going to report in our newspaper, powerful newspaper, that you're a fraud, that you're lying, that it's not possible.
Oh wow! That's a big challenge.
They were pretty.
They're going to expose you.
Exactly. We're going to expose you.
Yeah.
Well, I'd never done it before. Mm-hmm. I felt I could do it, but I had never done it. So I had a month or so to kind of prepare. What am I going to do? How would I do it? Yeah. And we showed up in San Francisco, flew there from LA. He gave me $100. I gave him his wallet. And now I had to do the thing I'm going to tell you to do, exactly the same thing. Mm-hmm. I know that out of 100 properties, 100 owners, 1 or 2 are highly motivated to sell, 98 are not. Mm-hmm. That means they want full price, they want as much as they can get, all cash, they want a strong buyer, the realtor wants a strong buyer, the mortgagor wants a strong buyer, the seller wants a strong buyer, but there are 1 or 2% for whatever reason, maybe it's sickness, maybe it's ignorance, maybe they don't know that the property is worth as much as they're trying to sell it for.
Yeah.
Maybe they are been transferred to another city. Maybe they bought another house in the other city. And now they got 2 mortgage payments. And now they got one here that they need to get rid of. And all they want to do is get rid of the mortgage payment because they already bought the other house. So can I take it over from you, solve your problem, make the monthly payments for you? I don't want to put any down payment. So anyway, there are 100 reasons why people become highly motivated, and you need to learn how to find them, and you have to go deep, and sometimes it takes a week or 2 or a month or 2 or 6 months or 2.
Sure.
I'm not telling you that it's easy. It's not easy because it's one or 2 in 100, but you're going to find them when you look. And it's hard to take the rejection because the realtors will tell you you're crazy. The mortgage people will tell you you're crazy. Your parents will tell you you're crazy. Your friends will tell you you're crazy. But you just keep plodding, you keep looking, you watch for the advertisements, you talk to people. Whenever you're at a party, you say, I'm buying real estate. I like to buy property with little or no money down. And you know anybody like that? Yeah. And eventually you'll buy your first. And my challenge to you is, do you buy 2 this year? Do you buy 2 the next year? Keep them. You buy 2 the year after that. Do that for 10 years and you'll be a millionaire. You'll be rich.
The challenge, 2 properties a year.
2 properties per year.
Wow, that's interesting. So going back to that story that you were talking about.
Oh, did I buy anything with nothing down?
Yeah.
Oh, it took me one day to find my first property. One day, nothing down, $1 down, $1. From a smart investor who had bought it way low, fixed it up, improved its value way high, refinanced, and pulled all his money out, all his profit, and had a little bit of equity above it. And so for him to give it for nothing down is no big deal. He already made the money. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a desperate seller, which is a very smart seller. He taught me that technique. That day, I'd never known of that technique, but he taught me a technique that day. Bottom line is $1 down, and I didn't want the property. I had a mortgage payment on it. I didn't want to rent it out. I'm from another state, But I bought that one. And then when we were done, I said to the reporter that day, well, I won. I won the challenge. The Los Angeles Times lost. Mm-hmm. But which is a better story? If you lose small or if you lose big? If I buy more property with nothing down, would that be a better story? Mm-hmm. He says, well, yes, that would be a better story since I've already lost. Losing big is a better story. Yeah. So now he's on my side. Let's go look for more real estate. We went all over the city. I bought 6 more properties.
Wow.
7 properties in 57 hours, and I gave him $20 back in change.
Wow. Wow.
So I've been famous in America for that crazy challenge, and I've done challenges since all over for all kinds of reasons. Amazing. I went to an unemployment line and taught people how they go from nothing. If they thought maybe I was smart, maybe because I had more knowledge, maybe that's why I was able to buy with nothing. Okay, then let's pick somebody who is in an unemployment line, who has no job, nothing. Let's pick them and let's prove if they can do it.
Yeah.
So I did. That was my next challenge.
Okay.
And
they did it too?
They did it too.
Oh my God.
They bought the property with nothing down. Exactly. They made $5,000 in cash. Now that seemed like a small amount now, but if they're working or if they don't have a job and $5,000 lands in their lap,
it's like $1 million
to them. Exactly.
And I want to bring this to all of your attention, people, if you're watching, and probably you're excited and jumping. This is the truth. And let me tell you, I will raise my hand first and I'll say I was very ignorant because I knew how to make money. And if you're following me for quite some time, we made 56 crores in 1 year, last year in business. But had I known what I'm knowing now from Robert G. Allen, the genius, I think we would have made more money doing what we are doing and had retained and built more assets. But you know what? It's never too late. If you're watching this, if you have one action item that you should have is go and study about the real estate. Understand. Go buy his book. I read his book It's amazing. Go buy all his books. Go deep into his learning. If you're really serious about being a real estate investor, right? Go ahead and do that. If you say that, okay, I'm not, interested in real estate, okay, no problem. You can follow your passion. Take his advice on how do you find your purpose, how do you find your passion, follow and build that business. But eventually, would you agree? Everybody who has become really, really rich, most of the people, 99 or 90% of people, in the back end, it is because they became wealthy because of real estate. Is that true?
Yeah, well, vast majority.
Vast majority.
Yeah.
And this is my observation. I've met.
You know why?
Why is that?
Because real estate is an asset that all of us understand, because we live in homes, apartments. Very few people live on the streets. Even the people who live in the slums, they have a roof over their head, right? And some of those slums are very valuable roofs. So ordinary people, they get it. They get what it's like. Okay, I can rent it out to somebody else. Whereas when you go into business, you said you learn 14 different high-level skills.
Yes.
To run a business. You don't have to do that with real estate. No, real estate is pretty basic. It's like once a month you go get the rent. Once a month. Okay. How hard can this be, right? Now, the problem is I got to find the right tenant so they don't destroy my property, and that is a problem. Yes, it is. And yes, maybe it has a clogged toilet, so I go get a plumber to fix it. But generally speaking, it's pretty
straightforward.
It's pretty simple stuff, where his business, that what he does to run his business, it's true. Multiple skills you need, multiple hats you got to wear. And so I wear those same hats. I had to learn the same things you did in order to run my information business, but real estate's pretty basic. However, real estate doesn't have a big upside. See, this is why it has its problems. I can't raise the rent too much. And if there's a vacancy, then it's always pretty stable, right? And therefore, how do I really grow it big? So I have a property and it's fixed in its fixed location. Therefore, it's in that one place, and I have a stable certain of kind of income, and of course, I have consistent revenue. That's nice. Those are all wonderful things, but it doesn't scale. In order to scale, I have to go buy another big piece of real estate. And therefore, I end up at another fixed location with income that's fairly level. But our business, what you and I do, wow, scalable. Because how many people want to be passionpreneurs in the world?
Put in the chat, how many people do you think would be wanting to become a passionpreneur?
How many people want to be a passionpreneur in the world? Okay, I'll throw a number at you. You put your number in. It's 100 crore at least. 100 crore at least. And that's just a tiny percentage of the world. So we're talking about vast amounts of people who could come to you, and you can do your work right here. And they can buy into your programs where you don't have to go all over the world and find them. They'll just show up online because of the internet reaches the entire world. So talk about scaling. You add zeros after zero after zero at the end of your money.
That's true.
It's wow. It's an incredible business. That's why I've generated up $1 billion US dollars.
That's true.
It took me 40 years to do it, and I don't have all that money now, because it was my partners and I got my piece of it. But information business, scalable, big time.
I love it. So I hope you're making notes, and I really suggest you watch this interview again, because what he has been, the pearl of wisdom that he's been sharing is amazing. I think we're almost at the end of this interview. Buying the property, no money down. You don't need extraordinary amount sitting in your bank account to buy the property. All you need is find a motivated buyer, have the right terms, and then you can exit that property when the time is right. Is that right?
Yep, exactly. Perfect. Or keep it.
Or keep it, or keep it. Either exit it or keep it. But for sure, start exploring real estate. I've started exploring real estate as well. And thanks to somebody like Robert G. Allen and some amazing people that I met here that I've been very fortunate to learn from. How can they, if somebody wants to learn from you, RobertAllen.com. RobertAllen.com.
ALLEN.com. I do, one of the things I do also is I teach people how to write best-selling books, and I think that's one of your programs.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
Do this, do that program, because you can't tell what will happen. You can't believe what will happen when somebody comes up to you and they ask you, what do you do? And you say, well, I'm an author. They look at you differently from that moment forward. It's the most immediate expansion of credibility with a one simple thing. So I do teach people how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I do a little class I call the authorsummit.com, author summits. But I do want to give a book to you can give to them.
Sure.
I gave it in Mumbai. It's called The 4 Maps of Happy, Successful People.
Mm-hmm.
It's how you get this to work. And you have ways of teaching it. I have my way of teaching it.
Yes.
And I'll give you the QR code. You can give it to them if you'd like to.
We're going to put it, guys, we're going to put the gift. And thank you so much, Robert G, for giving this gift to all of you. You guys have a gift. Check in the description. We'll put all the links of the website and the gift. Make sure you follow this amazing human being, the legend who has transformed millions of lives. And it is such an honor to have you on this show. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge.
He's the real deal. He really is.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Good. And that's a wrap.